Alright guys, I'm here to make a video about the state of Battlegrounds because I've seen a lot of people making videos about it recently, and I thought I'd give my opinion as what I would consider myself to be a pretty competitive Battlegrounds player and somebody who really cares a lot about the mode and wants to see it in a much better state than it is right now, which you can see. I'm just showing like the current scores. There's like less than a day left in the season, so like the scores are gonna go up a little bit, but these scores are like some of the lowest points we've ever seen for like cutoffs. Very low points. Just overall, like I didn't show them, but even down like in Mysterium and stuff like in Quantum, like in the lower ranks, it's the cutoffs just across the entire mode is the points are very low, which is obviously an indicator that people are not playing it nearly as much for a wide variety of reasons. The first thing I'll start with talking about is I think something they need to do that could get just more players overall involved is trying to find a middle ground between the endgame players like myself, who we've completed basically all the content in the game, and Battlegrounds, and maybe Alliance War, and I suppose Towers now too, are like the main things that we are focusing on. And like this middle ground would be something like, maybe even change the victory track significantly just to make it better for like lower to middle like players. Just because, like, if you don't have, like, a very up-to-date roster, like, it's simply not going to be possible to compete. Like, of course, roster matters quite a bit in terms of, having it at, like, the absolute highest ranks versus just, like, the average rank. Like, really good players will succeed even with like not massive whale rosters, but like I'm talking about, like if you're more of like a progressing account and you're at rank 3s and you got a couple rank 4s maybe, there's just no way that you're going to be able to compete in the circuit. It's not going to be fun for you. You're not going to play. So I think making maybe some more changes to the victory track specifically, because people like myself, we don't play in the victory track. We're in the victory track for the first day or two, and then we're into the circuit and grinding for the rest of the season in the circuit. So the victory track really doesn't have much of an effect on us. So changing it, tuning it towards lower progressing accounts, I think could help people get more into the mode and enjoy it a lot more. And this kind of leads into the next point of making changes and testing more. There's no reason Kabam can't do more testing in the off season that lasts for a week, and also in season if it's not something super crazy like the no attacker health counting for points thing, which was, I think everyone agrees that was a pretty rough idea. But yeah, I think there's more testing that needs to and can definitely be done, and changes like maybe even just voting, letting us vote for stuff, maybe the same way they do let us vote for the Summoner's Choice Champion. I think could be a good idea. Like if they just put like a vote out to see, like a community vote in game to see what people want. For example, like the 40 champ deck, I think I've seen a lot of people say they want the 40 champ deck, which especially if they only included it in the gladiator circuit and not the victory track, I don't see why they can't do that. Like, let us vote for it at least, and if the majority, as in 51% or more of the player base, want to see that, then especially if the way they do the voting is like to get the votes you have to play like you have to play matches or something, so it's going to be people who play the mode, care about the mode, and if we all vote for wanting the 40 champ deck back, then we can like bring back the 40 champ deck if that's something that players want. Like there's just like little things like that I think need to be made to appease players and let them enjoy it more. Another change that they definitely need to make, that they said they would make, at this point I don't even know how long ago it was a very long time ago though, Kabam said they would update the rerolls to where when you do a reroll and there's 5 champions, whatever champions they are, doesn't matter, and you're looking for a mystic for that serpent that your opponent just drafted, and you do a reroll, your options don't have a single mystic, and you hit the reroll button, and 3 of the 5, or even 4 or 5 of the 5 champion of the same champions show back up, and you didn't get a mystic. Well, too bad. Now you automatically lose that round, basically, unless something happens. But yeah, like that's the type of thing that people really find extremely frustrating and make them want to not play the mode. And like that's like one of the big problems in Battlegrounds is like getting outdrafted really badly. Like after you and your opponent are done drafting, you could essentially forfeit the match because you already lost based off the champions that you and your opponent have, just because that there's no way, like you might know that like this round I don't have a mystic for this serpent, or I don't have anyone who can take high evolutionary, I'm gonna lose that round automatically. And then they have another 2 extremely tough defender fights, and like they have perfect counters to all your defenders. Like that's something that I think really frustrates people and turns them just off on the mode. And the reroll fix that they said they would do that they never did would massively alleviate that problem, because if you do a reroll looking for 1 champion and it's on the 5 champion pick, and you get 5 completely new champions out of your 30 champ, or if they added the 40 champ deck, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get one of the champs that you're looking for as a counter, or a good defender that you're looking for, versus if even if the one of the same champion can pop up, you are now missing a chance to get said attacker or defender that you're looking for. So that's just a change that absolutely needs to be made. Another point is load times, which an excuse I've seen made is it's your device. Your device is what's causing the little bad load times. You need a new phone, or you have bad internet connection and Wi-Fi, which I wouldn't completely disagree with that. I'm sure some of it stems from that. But it's also like I ask so many people in live streams and my alliance and group chats of people who play the game, and everyone says the same thing, that they just have horrible load times in Battlegrounds. Like personally, the reason why I'm not even pushing podium this season when I'm really close to it and potentially could actually get on to podium is because of the load times for me. My average load times are 8 to 12 seconds. There's just no point in even risking losing a ton of points because I'm losing matches to load time, which is just so dumb and shouldn't happen. When the excuse that Kabam uses a lot is that they don't have the tech, which to be fair to Kabam, I have nothing against them. I want to, I just want them to do things to help out the player base. But like when they say the tech thing is a problem because the game's really old. But like in Alliance War, in Alliance War, you have 5 minutes to fight. If you're loading into the fight and you're like have bad Wi-Fi or something, whatever reason it takes you 3 minutes to load in. The fight doesn't, like, the timer doesn't start until you actually load into the fight. Versus in Battlegrounds, when you hit the I'm ready button, all that time that it takes for you to load into the fight, you're losing seconds. And then at the end of the fight, when you're done fighting, all the time it takes for you to load out and back to like where like the finish screen, like that, all those seconds add up. And if like you're loading in slow for whatever the reason may be, which again, sure, Wi-Fi, internet connection, I'm sure that's part of it. I'm not saying it's not. But when so many people are saying that it's a problem for them, like it comes to a point where it's like, okay, this is not just, you know, your internet connection. It's like a host of in-game problems as well. So like the load times, if they just implemented the way that Alliance War works, I think that would be another thing that people would be extremely happy about, because again, it's just extremely frustrating when, you know, you do a fight and you're like, oh, you're super happy about it, like, oh man, I just totally cooked that fight, and then you load and then you're stuck on the loading screen, and then you come out and like your opponent also, maybe they did a good fight too, or maybe they did a bad fight though, and like you lose because of it. Like you go and look at the information of the fight and it's like, oh, my fight was 41 seconds, but it came out to 50 or 52 seconds. Like that's a ridiculous amount of points lost for one round. Like it's just like not, it's very anti-fun when it's just like realistically, like it doesn't have to be that way. If you get what I'm saying, like when we in Alliance War, like we already have that like tech in the game for the timer to not start until you're actually like fighting and in the fight. Another change or test, whatever you want to refer to it as, that would be very interesting is in the Summoners Fest Battleground Brawl, Kabam introduced an Omega Pool into the contests where the best of the best, you know, Battlegrounds champions, whether they be just dual threats or attackers, were in this Omega Pool, and you can only choose a certain amount of them. I believe it was either 5 or 6 at the Summoners Fest they're allowed to choose from. That would be something that would be very, very, just like that would automatically change things up quite a bit. If, you know, let's just say Captain Britain, Nico, Okoye, Solvark, and Deathless Thanos are 5 of your options that you pick out of, you know, whatever this Omega Pool may be, throw on a bunch of the other extremely strong Battlegrounds champions. And, you know, those are the 5 champions that you decide to choose. But, you know, the next 5 people might choose 5 completely different champs, and it would completely change. It would just freshen things up a bit, and also make it a little bit more like less stressful with some of these like super crazy champions that you have to watch out for. And, you know, just again in general, it would just change things up and make the mode, you know, more interesting than it is right now, where pretty much every season, especially back to the deck size, like with the 30 deck, you know, pretty much all of us are running, you know, the exact same decks. So like the Omega Pool could, you know, massively change things, especially if they do it in the way that I think would be the most fun, is if it's a seasonal Omega Pool, as in every season this Omega Pool changes. So, you know, Nico, for example, would be like if they did this on the first one that they did, Nico is in this first season of this Omega Pool, and the next season, Nico is not in this Omega Pool, and she's just, you know, free for everyone to use. I think that would be very fun and interesting. And another thing they could do is a seasonal blacklist. So maybe for this one, back to Nico is just a champ that I hate, so I'll keep using her as the example. For this blacklist, you know, there's 5 champions on there, and, you know, Nico's on the blacklist for this season, and then the next season she's not on it. And like this seasonal blacklist of just like, it could be 5 champs, 3 champs, 4, 6, 8, whatever it is. This would, again, change the meta up a lot, because whatever this blacklist is, especially if they make it common characters, if nobody can run them, then of course, obviously that means you're going to have to fill the gaps of your deck in with different characters. So back to the just idea of changing things up a bit, that would change things up a bit quite a lot. Another idea that I have, which is something that goes back to the tech thing. I don't know how hard this, I won't act like I know, because I don't. I don't know how hard this would actually be for them to do, but if they were able to do maybe like a mass update and change just one line and many characters' kits that allow them to be more usable in Battlegrounds. For example, Serpent, Shatra, and several others that I'm blanking on right now. Cull Obsidian is another one. These champions have a line specifically for when they are active in Battlegrounds. Like, they start with more of their persistent charges / like ramp, and it makes them a lot more usable in Battlegrounds. And if they did like a mass update maybe for a lot of champs, or if they even just add them in with every update or every season, whatever you want to go with, they could just add in a few, or if they can do the mass update, add a mass update in for these champions, like, Spider-Gwen would be one. Like, if Spider-Gwen started with a couple of her charges up, like, she would actually be, like, not like a super meta, but like she would be runnable. But like right now, Spider-Gwen, having to throw like 4 SB1s before you can even like really start to like do damage with her, it just like, he's unusable. Obviously, Spider-Gwen's not like a super meta champion, but a lot of people, there's actually like a decently large group of people who actually really like Northstar. Like Northstar, like if he started with some ramp, could be decent for some fights, could be decent for Yelena or Nick Fury, or whatever the defender may be. I just think, that's an update that could be very fun, though, for a lot of people. Especially if they did the, Omega Pool and or Blacklist, and if you gotta fill your deck in with different champions, or if the 40 champ deck would be another way, like you're filling in with different champions, this is another way that could be just change things up a bit. If we had more champs that, are like more like ramp champs or like questing champions, that if they had a little bit more juice in Battlegrounds, then they could be a lot more usable, and it would just be fun, The last point I want to make is a pretty big elephant in the room, is buffing rewards, because obviously right now the rewards for Battlegrounds are pretty bad. Like for me personally, this season I'll be getting 300k radiance from C4 that I can't even tell you what I'm gonna buy in the Radiant store, because the Radiant store is extremely bad, and like I don't even know if outdated the word, because I did I guess, but like they did an update recently, but they barely updated anything. They more so just added slightly more tier 5 alpha that is at an absolutely pitiful, awful, horror awful, terrible price that nobody's buying unless you're like a couple purchases away from getting your tier 5 alpha. Otherwise, you're just wasting all your radiance for like a fifth of a tier 5 alpha, which nobody wants to do. So yeah, like they need to buff the Radiant store quite heavily, honestly. And also, I think if they added, for example, let's just say for C4 you get 4 tier 7 basic and half a tier 5 alpha. I don't know, maybe that's too much, maybe it's too little, whatever. There's an example though. And then you get, a relic, a 7-star relic nexus, and maybe, 1 Titan crystal. Like those are the other rewards you get on top of the ratings that you already get. Again, just an example. And then for C5, you know, if you play C5, you get a 3 to 4 gem crystal and a non-Nexus 7-star relic or something like that, and a couple other items. It doesn't have to be exactly the items I listed. I'm just, you know, making an example, but I think that would also get more people, or I know that would get more people to play the mode if they knew the rewards were actually good. So yeah, those are just like the main things that I wanted to talk about in this video. And another thing is, like, you know, just mentally, like, take in the information that Kabam says, like, and like about like the rerolls, for example, like, oh, we're gonna change the rerolls, and they didn't, like, mentally take that information in and put it into one file and have the other file of what their actions actually are. And, you know, like, as a community, like, we have to, you know, hold them accountable for especially like this mode that we all love so much, or at least a lot of us love, like, and just like hold them accountable for it. Like, you know, take in what they say, but look at what they actually do. So yeah, I think, you know, if we can, you know, be loud enough, hopefully they'll listen to some of these ideas that I've made in this video, and that, you know, more significant people have made in other videos, and hopefully we can see some real changes to Battlegrounds. And hopefully they really just don't leave it out to dry and die, because that would be pretty sad. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.